Hello everyone and welcome to Assetto Corsa not Competizione. So I'm probably going to be uploading a few more just normal Assetto Corsa videos since they're easier and funner to make. So we're in the online race here at the Red Bull Ring and GT3 cars as we nearly kill the Ferrari in front of us. Also, before this video goes all the way, and you may have noticed the thumbnails in higher quality, that is thanks to Twosecsted. I think I said that right. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description and in the pinned comment. So thank you to him for the amazing thumbnail, which I would have never been able to make. And as you can see, well, back into the race now, we've just been getting ass packed by just about everyone behind us. So this is just a normal online race, no damage besides fuel and tire wear, I think, at most, because I get ass packed a lot. And I don't really take damage. Again here, another GTR just forgets where his braking point is. And everyone just kind of says, alright. Now I am playing this game on a controller, so if I'm not the fastest of the fastest, don't blame me. Blame the Xbox standard controller. Well, I don't know. But the reason I decided to play this today instead of normal ACC is because this game feels like it actually has grip and it's not on ice all the time. And I can actually take corners with some speed as the GTR nearly comes back to give us a second love tap. And that's not even completed lap 1. So right now you may have noticed we started the race with about 16 people. We'll see how many are still here within the next 2 to 3 laps. Now as we come down to complete lap 1, you may have noticed 2 people have already rage quit because they just hate the game apparently. And so now we sit in 11th, and I don't think this race was really hard, just harder to maintain the car and avoid all the crazy people that are on the track. As you can see here, we have a Lamborghini, and I believe that was a Porsche or a GTR in front. And they will play a big role later in this video. You will see how big of a role they play. So brake at my whatever braking point I chose. I kind of memorized this track before coming online. And I'd just like to say the online servers for this game are really amazing too. Way better than ACC with like the same 3 people in every server that either race amazingly or just kind of destroy you and move on. Now we nearly missed our braking point there. Just turn in. See, and I chose the McLaren because I haven't really been able to use the McLaren in ACC since it's not an OP car. And as we come down to the middle sector of the track, we nearly run it wide, but fortunately this game has some grip as we almost spin out. And well, this is my first day on ACC online, so of course I'm not the fastest of the fastest. I could probably be way faster. But I got the basics down of switching gears and stuff. I do have automatic clutch on since I really don't have spare buttons for it. And I just have to wait till a wheel to get that. Come down to the second lap. Well, it's third lap now. And there's about a 2, well now 4, well, alright. There was a 4-second difference between me and the person in front. And so now here, just to get through the boring parts, we're just going to speed it up a little bit so that we can get into the action, because this race really does come alive in the final laps when, you know, all the noobs leave and you're just left with the people that actually want to enjoy a good race and not just punt everyone to death. And you may have noticed, or may have not noticed, the person behind me is slowly closing in during this little time as I run wide. And there were 7.1 seconds behind me, and now they're less than that, I think, probably. And we have 1 car off track. I believe that was the GTR. But so far there have been many deaths, and I think if we can just bring the car home, that will be a victory in my eyes. As we come down to lap 4. Now, I have some questions about this corner considering, well, about the braking point, because, well, you see, I'm not sure how much AstroTurf on the, what is it? The left side that you're allowed to use. I think it's only 2 wheels, but I've seen some people get away with 4. And I'm really not sure how they do that as we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. Let's see what's going on here. Come down, and of course it's nothing. Oh, never mind, there's a spinning Mercedes. Apparently someone didn't take the track corner right. Let's get a little, well, we get moved up to 8th. That's a promotion. Now, again, we come down to our braking point, almost lose the car. Now, your best bet for driving cars here is to try to keep it smooth. As when we look in the rearview mirror, I think that's another GTR behind us. I think the GTR may have been the best car of choice for this track, but I really thought it was the Corsa or something. I'm not sure why. As we hit our braking point, just turn in, keep the car steady. Don't try to push anything crazy. And you see the GTR really is catching up a lot now, as we're less than a second away from the person in front of us. Just turn the car in, low amounts of gas, use third gear to its advantage. Now, I really don't have much practice in this game at all at this point. Like, I've done the practice races, well, the races that you can do when the game's not fully downloaded, which is only one. But as you see when we look in the rearview mirror, that that GTR is really catching up a lot. So we're just going to try to turn in and maybe push a tiny bit. Now, I did notice that we usually take this corner, well, the last corner, pretty well, even though everyone else kind of just falls behind on it. As you see, we gain some time on the GTR behind us as another player rage quits from this amazing lobby. Definitely not being sarcastic whatsoever. And it seems that the McLaren really struggles on that first corner to get traction down, as there's a Porsche on the side of the road completely giving up on life. And as we're coming down to corner 2, I think the GTR may try to send a late bomber, but fortunately he doesn't. Push it down to second gear, turn in a little bit early, run a little bit wide, but who doesn't here, and get back on the power. Now, I do have a question coming into this corner about what's about to happen. As I said, GTRs will play a big role in this video, as they're due right here, I believe, in this corner. He sends one up the inside, I give him the room. I give him lots of room, he still taps me. I run wide, I look behind us. The Porsche actually didn't rage quit, but the GTR is somehow fully backwards. I leave room for the Porsche since I'm going slower than him, just to rather not slow up everyone on track. But I do wonder if that was my fault and maybe I didn't give that GTR enough room. But who knows, tell me down in the comments what you think about that crash. As you hear, the Mercedes is actually back. That wasn't the GTR at all. So apparently it must have been the GTR that rage quit, because I don't remember having him. No, he was on lap, I believe, 3, and he spun out, or lap 4, and he's right behind us somehow. He may have just pushed a little bit too hard, or may have just gotten beaten up on the first turn. But it seems we have a race between the McLaren, the Porsche, and the Mercedes, which seems like it could be amazing. Hit my braking point a little bit early, as the Mercedes sends one around the outside, and I just have to let him keep that move, because there's no point in fighting someone that's faster than you on this track. So I might as well try to work with him, use his slipstream to help me catch up to the Porsche. Now, you get on the brakes a little bit early to not send into the back of the, the Mercedes. I swear I remember car names half the time and the other half I don't. As you can see, the Mercedes and the Porsche are just making up amazing time on me, as now there are only 10 people left in this race. We started with about 17 or so, and we're back down to 10. So as I said here before earlier, just bring the car home without rage quitting, and that will be a victory. Now, I do think we make up a little bit of time in this sector, coming down, pushing to third gear, turn in, just full beans almost. Don't spin out, use the AstroTurf to your advantage and turn in. Just keep turning in as hard as you can, and then on the power as early as you can. Now, I believe there are only 8 people in this race, and the new fastest lap was just set. But we went from about 17 people to 8. This game will make you rage quit a lot, apparently. And we're getting very low on fuel. I really didn't notice this while racing, but setups really do matter. And if I put a little bit less fuel in, I probably wouldn't have been able to complete this race. But I think we can hold our own against the 2 people in front of us. We're not really that far behind. Try to take corner 1 a little bit faster, almost spin it out, had to correct the steering a little bit. But it seems if we can just get into that slipstream range, we can probably make up a good lap or so. And you know, maybe even try to battle for top 5 if we can, depending on how far 5th is. As they both spin out, we ass packed the Porsche. And I think that's the Porsche gone. I don't see him. Well, if we look on the mini-map, he's still there, but good thing there is no damage on besides tire and fuel, otherwise we would have died. Now, I don't really know exactly what happened there. I think they just both kind of lost grip in the middle of the turn. Unfortunately, I can't save online replay files, but we'll just have to see. Well, we could probably ask them, but I didn't. Now we are going on to our final lap almost. We're halfway into 7. And so right here is when I decided, you know what, I probably should fight for 7th. And so I just put up with it and pushed as hard as I can. You see, getting on the power that bit earlier and tightening up the corner just to keep the Porsche behind me. So here I thought, well, maybe I have less fuel, so I'm lighter than him. Maybe I can do something with this. So I decided to push as hard as I can, using as much AstroTurf down into 4th gear, just full beans all the way around. And now there are only 8 people left in this race, with I think that's a 10-second lead in front of us, or maybe like a 7, but it's 16.1. Take the first corner as fast as possible, just get on the power early. The Porsche behind us runs a little bit wide, but that's in our advantage. We're actually running one of our fastest laps so far without any slipstream, which is surprising. Now we're going to get late on the brakes into corner 2, I believe this is, and just try not to spin the car completely around. Sorry for my stuttering and bad English. But we're just pushing as hard as we can to keep this Porsche behind us. We wouldn't at least get this car home and maybe even take some points. Well, we would take points. We're automatically in the top 10, but you know what I mean. Shift it down into 2nd gear, half beans all the way around as a car in front of us spins out. I don't know who that was, but I think that's now up to 6th place, as we can come into this corner, just turn in light power all the way around, and we're up to top 6 now, and just use this gas to our advantage, just hard on the brakes, turn in full beans all the way. The Porsche is slowly catching up behind us, and just hug the corner to the inside. We're top 5 now, and we just have to defend the Porsche for 2 more corners. We go into the 2nd to last corner, send it down to 3rd gear, hug the apron. The Porsche closes in a lot. Hard on the brakes again into the last corner. The Porsche goes, try to send one around the outside, but doesn't work out. The Porsche is spun out and didn't make it. And that is P5 for us. Yeehaw. Again, thank you to Twosecsted for, well, you know, making the amazing thumbnail. And peace out.
Waste another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're